It's time to become the queen goddess you are. If you are ready to learn how to enter your queen era and level up your confidence in every part of your life, I am here to teach you that today. We are going to empower you to not only get everything that you want, but everything that you deserve as a queen goddess in your relationships, in your success, in your lifestyle, in every way, and to just create your queendom as the goddess that you are, and to elevate everything into overflowing bliss and expansion as you take your throne. I'm going to be sharing with you 6 specific steps and tips from your divine feminine energy on how to embody your queen goddess self. So if you're ready, welcome. My name is Syma Kharal, and I am a divine feminine mentor, goddess coach, author of the books Goddess Reclaimed and Manifest Soulmate Love. And I help women all over the world to become goddess queens, to create your dream life from your feminine energy. So let's get started. First, let's just get clear on the queen, right? Who is this queen energy that you are embodying? The queen is the part of you. She already exists, and she is the version of you that is regal, powerful, badass, resourceful, clear, decisive, sovereign. And she is so centered in her regal power that when you rise to embody your queen goddess, you powerfully command, you graciously receive, and you gracefully hold everything that you desire and deserve at the highest and most regal standards. That is all you're available for as queen. So how does that sound? So now I'm going to share with you 6 tips to embody your queen goddess energy and to level up every part of your life. The first way to enter your queen era is to embody your sovereignty. Sovereignty is your divine feminine power, and very specifically, this is connected to your self-worth and self-value. This is the work that I've had to do in my life to heal my very wounded inner child and go beyond just being a princess, which is a beautiful energy as well, but to really come into a place of power to, again, for myself, create everything that I could have hoped for and beyond anything I could have imagined from my feminine energy. A beautiful, thriving practice, business, serving women all over the world, right? Becoming a millionaire goddess, having a beautiful marriage, being a mama, and just being devoted to everything that I love and value in my life, traveling the world, living in different countries, being an investress, and empowering my clients to do this. Like, this is the work of us women rising into our power and being fully free and liberated. And the first step for me in my life and what I help my clients with is that in order to rise into our sovereign power, we have to make sure that the inner girl is not there with her unmet needs, right? Where she actually still needs to be feeling safe and secure and healthy and whole and loved. Because if she does not believe in herself, if our inner girl is still stuck in old wounding and pain and fear, then as women on an unconscious level, and sometimes even consciously, we're still operating from that wounded inner girl, right? And that can show up as self-sabotage or settling and compromising and giving away our power and not being centered in our sovereignty. So this is the first step. And what's so powerful about this is when you do the inner work, right? To heal your self-worth and value. One thing I want to share about this is I'm seeing a lot around being the high value woman. And I think it can be very powerful to do the things to become a high value woman, as long as it's not for other people, because that is then giving our power and our energy away when we're doing this high value work in order to add more value to others, to be of more service to others, or to attract a man. It's not centered on what we are here to give to others, because the high value, or the regal, the sovereign, powerful queen energy, that archetypal energy that we are awakening and coming home to, is truly the journey of remembering your inherent self-worth and your infinite self-value. That has nothing to do with anything external. It is inherent, it is internal, and it is, for me, divine, right? It's just who you are. So what I'm inviting you into, to rise into your queen goddess era, is first and foremost, take back your power. Take back your power, take back your Shakti, your feminine life force energy, and decide, this is sovereignty, right? Decide that you are going to trust yourself and love yourself enough to take the steps to do the inner healing work on your inner girl, or wherever your patterns are where you haven't really been in your divine self-worth and value and self-love. Take care of that, right? I have so many free videos here on YouTube. I'll leave some links to some specific ones that can help you with this. But this is a great gift that you give yourself. It's coming into your sovereignty by healing yourself and taking back your power, embodying your divine regal self-worth. This is what's going to help you to rise into a new level of confidence, right? That's actually the confidence that comes from this beautiful, healed wholeness and this renewed relationship with yourself. And what's so beautiful is this leads us into our next step, which is, once you embody and radiate your regal confidence and you're sitting on your throne, just centered in your divine self-worth, naturally, the next step is to raise your standards. So some goddess coaching for you here. Well, actually, I'll give you some for part one, which is to reflect on where are you operating from a lack of self-worth and value, and then decide where do you need to begin your healing work, right? Around coming into your power and your sovereignty. And so then that's going to bring us here into step two, which is raising your standards. Once you have elevated your self-worth, when you have taken back your power, you're going to look in your life and be like, what the frick? Why am I settling for this pay? Why am I overgiving in this relationship? Why am I allowing that person to treat me this way? Why am I in this imbalanced relationship? Why am I not keeping my word to myself? Why do I, there's so many ways in which we sometimes even don't have high standards for ourselves. And the queen, in raising her standards and coming into her sovereignty, is first and foremost committed to upholding the highest standards for yourself. So for me, like as an example, in manifesting my beloved, my husband, my divine, beautiful, masculine king, we've been married 13 years, coming up in September, together 16. And in order to manifest him, I remember in my relationship before him, I had fully given away my power in a space. I was not in a good place in myself. And so thus, step one was something that I needed to actually do a lot of healing work on myself and my inner girl. But like in that romantic relationship, and this is where I see a lot of my clients, we tend as women, sometimes we can be so confident in one part of our life, but then like in our love life, that's where we are not showing up as queens. Or we might be really sovereign in our marriages, and then we are really afraid to rise up in our careers, in our work, to be visible, right? So in relationships, like in my own example, and with my clients too, the work was around, I am raising my standards. I remember one thing that I got so clear on was after that relationship, before Eric, my beloved, was, I am only available for a man who knows he is and what he wants. And it is done for him. Like, he is just solid in that, and he goes for it. There, I never have to question where I stand, where he stands. Like, that was all old relationship stuff for me. And that's just one example of like the power of raising your standard. And when I had done the work to heal my wounded self-esteem and sense of self and come into goddess level self-love and regal power, that standard was just there. It was like whoosh. And then I've held that standard in every part of my life. So I only work in my business with soulmate clients. In my team, we're just expanding my team. You might notice changes in my recent videos. So I've been hiring a video editor, and I had so many applicants, but I was so clear on my standards of who I'm working with. Not just a talented video editor, right? But like someone who is caring and actually cares about this work. So I've hired a females, and then she has female team, and so it's just like women empowering women. This is something that's important to me. So being clear on who I am, what my values are, what my standards are, and just holding that, even though there can be temptations, even though there might be other options, even though we might be, if we're not yet fully in our power, tempted to settle and compromise. That's not happening. No, we're not available for that anymore. So we are raising our standards and then we're holding them. So your next goddess coaching tip is to reflect on, where do you need to raise your standards? Is it with yourself? Let's start with you, right? Sometimes it can be something as simple as keeping your word to yourself. And it's simple, but it's so powerful. Like if you say, I'm going to get 8 hours of sleep, but then we're binge watching and we go to sleep really late, then that's not keeping your word to yourself, keeping your promise to yourself. And you actually chip away at your self-worth because you're breaking your self-trust. So that's one example of being in your power, is holding your standards and then holding your word, your promises, your commitments to yourself in your sovereignty. And where else in your life? In your work, in your relationships, in your family, in your friendships, in your lifestyle, can you level up those standards? And here's the next level homework for you, is things that are going really well. What's the next level? Right? Like my background here, you probably noticed, has shifted. I'm so excited, but I love the background that I had. And I used to have my beautiful goddess Lakshmi behind me, and now she's in front of me, goddess of abundance, and just so many beautiful things. But it's elevated, right? Like my standards were, okay, it's good enough. It works. It's really good. I love it. What's next? So that's your other homework, your goddess coaching, is where are things good, but then what's the next level? What's the next level of your relationship with yourself? What's the next level in your marriage? For you, like, I'm a mama. What's the next level for me as a mama? I'm constantly looking at things like being more present or releasing mom guilt, like, all these things that we women deal with. And from our feminine energy, this is something that's always empowering and nourishing. So we're not like hyper masculine, high performer, high achiever, go, go, go energy. That is not the vibe, right? The queen for me also is empress energy. And empress is you are embodied in your overflow. All right, so I hope you enjoy this tip and the homework that you got with it. And coming into your next tip to enter your queen era, this is to create your life on your terms. This is really what I help women do. This is what I have done for myself. No one can tell us what gets to be the way, right? Like, as an example, there's always this thing about how women balance career and marriage and motherhood, and sometimes self-care is in there as well, but it's like, oh, who's got time for self-care? It's like a miracle if a woman gets to balance her personal life and her career. And it's almost like, well, we have been taught like we have to choose. There are always verses. I decided that will not be me. I decided from my sovereignty, from my standards, from the first steps, that I am going to have everything that I want, but not from burnout or hypervigilance or hypermasculine. I decided I'm going to have and create my most flourishing life from my feminine. Thus, my business, my Queendom is called Flourishing Goddess. And why my queens love to work with me is because even when they're very successful, even when parts of their lives are already flourishing, it's like there's this conflict, right? Like this part can be thriving, but then this is where I can't put my energy, my focus, my time. No, you get to create your life on your terms. How I have designed my life, my lifestyle is freedom and bliss and feminine. I'm really clear on what I am devoted to, what I desire. So I desire freedom to be with my family, to be a devoted mother, to have romance, to have beautiful, epic intimacy with my beloved, just to have time for enjoying, for relishing, for self-care. Since I started my business in 2012, I devoted Fridays to Goddess Day. That's my goddess pampering day. It's my receiving, it's my pleasure, my rest day. Also, the first day of my period is always off, first day or two. And these are some standards that I've held for myself. My clients, like I have one client who is a very powerful, badass, 8-figure business goddess queen. And when she was going through my Awaken Goddess training with me, there's an initiation. It's a 6-month journey. It's so powerful, life-changing, where we learn about syncing our lifestyle to our feminine energies and cycles. And she shared with me also that when she started taking off her period day and delegating more, she hit her first 100K months, and then they just became her baseline, and then it just went off from there. And she embodied and was in awe of the art of receiving more by doing less. And that's the vibe here, right? So you get to create your life on your terms, right? For me, for my clients, it tends to be that we want to be free. We want to be location free. We, like me and my family, we winter away. We were in Bali for 3 months. We were in Mexico last year. We travel whenever we want. There's like location freedom, time freedom, financial freedom to be and do and have and enjoy everything that we desire. This is for me, it's for my clients. So what is it for you? I work a few hours a week, right? Usually it's 3 afternoons per week. Grandma, like my mother-in-law, comes over to take care of my baby, and they're best friends. So I know that he's so happy. And unless I'm recording a video or like on a live on my Awaken Goddess training group call, or on a rare occasion private client call, because I don't usually do private anymore. I'm always accessible, right? If he wants mama, I'm always here, and with my hyper focus, I can get things done even when he's with grandma. And so like, I'm just sharing this as you do get to be a flourishing mama and a highly successful businesswoman or career woman, working the hours that you want, having the lifestyle that you want, having the self-care that you want. I still have Fridays as my goddess self-care day, right? And things just keep elevating. Now I have a home sauna that I can have self-care time in every evening, goddess baths, right? So I come from a lineage of sacrifice, especially from women, dependency on men, compromise, martyrdom, and struggle. And I decided that will not be me. You are here to create your life on your terms. If anyone is telling you like you can't have it, screw that. One coaching homework is to get clear on what is it that you want. If you truly believe that you can create everything on your terms, what does your life look like? And here's the next part. Begin to look for real life examples of people who are embodying that, just so that you're like, tell your subconscious self that this is possible. And here's the other thing. If it isn't here yet, then I believe, right, this is what really empowers my clients when they work with me, is that you're the one who's here to create that, because it's all possible. And you have the power as Queen Goddess to create your life on your terms. I hope this is serving you so far. And what I would love for you to do is actually take a moment to go much deeper with me and receive a free gift from me, my Awaken Your Inner Goddesses meditation and training, where we can go much deeper in you creating your feminine dream life from your goddess energy. So visit me at flourishinggoddess.com, sign up for my email list, and you'll begin to receive meditation and beautiful goddess trainings as you join, and more exclusive things that I don't share anywhere else except for my insider queens. So I'll see you there. And let's continue to our next tip for you to enter your Queen Goddess era. And this is to allow yourself to be supported, right? So the Queen is so powerful. You can do everything that you want. You can create your life on your terms. But a queen, if she's just completely alone, that's a lonely place to be. The queen actually, especially in her Empress energy, is so overflowing. For me, like with goddesses, this is Goddess Lakshmi, Isis. We as women, truly embodying the queen is as much about that overflow sourced from within as it is the capacity to receive and to graciously receive and enjoy and be supported. So this is like on a really practical way to give you this example from my life, how I have everything thriving and flourishing in my life. How support looks like for me that I have created, right, from my feminine, is actually also embracing the divine masculine. This includes, for example, in my business, the systems and structures and schedules, like all these masculine pillars that allow the feminine in my business to flow, right? Hiring the support with my team and continuing to elevate and expand. That's another way. Having support, I have a mother's helper. I have someone help me to clean and do my laundry and take care of things, take care of our lawn. We own a property, and instead of like being a stressed out landlord or land queen, we've hired property managers. So like we get to travel the world and live in other parts of the world, and it's so supportive that we actually forget that we own a rental property, an investment property, right? Just now, if you're like, okay, well, that's nice for you, you can afford it. This is the work that I'm talking about that I did. I grew up in so much financial chaos, instability, poverty, and trauma. There were times we didn't even have a home and we lived with family, friends, and relatives, right? And like there was so much financial struggle. I have other videos, like this is a different topic in a way, but it's also related, is I had to do all the work that I share with you that now I get to take my clients through in order to become Lakshmi, a goddess who embodies and channels and receives and creates and radiates this abundance, right? And so from this abundance, it's like learning to receive helped me to learn that a queen deserves to be supported. So I'm not just doing everything on my own, and set things up in place in my personal life, in motherhood, in my home. This is holding your queendom. This is how you hold your queendom. Queen knows what to delegate. Like, for example, the things that my mother's helper does would take me 10 times as much time to do. So when she comes and she's able to help me with those things, and I can spend that quality time with my son, like in other parts of my life where that's my zone of genius. Like that's where I get to do the things. I don't know. It just takes me like so long to do certain things. Or with my video editor, I could learn editing software and all that stuff. But like, why? It's not my zone of genius. It's not my passion. I'm not good at it. It would be such a waste of my time and energy. And these kind of things would burn me out. So I have elevated myself, I have scaled things so that I can create structures and systems of support. And this is one of the things my clients love working with me when, especially like the high achieving and very successful women, is that they finally are able to learn how to create not just your feminine lifestyle, but what that means around the supports that we put in place to be in our feminine and to flourish and have the bliss and the time for the self-care and the romance and like a beautiful, wonderful, fulfilling love life and dharma and abundance and all the things, because life is so rich and we do get to have over everything is thriving. But as a queen, you have to learn how to allow yourself to be supported, what that support looks like for you, and again, trust in your capacity to be able to create that support for yourself, right? So you have the power. If there are some like blocks coming up for you around time or money or these practical constraints, then please watch some of my other videos around opening to abundance and coming into your power and manifesting, because you have the full power, right? All right, so the next tip for entering your queen era and leveling up your life is to protect your boundaries. So now we have created your life on your terms, you're allowing yourself to be supported, and it is so essential as a queen when you've created your beautiful queendom, your flourishing, thriving relationship, work, dharma, home, self-care, all these things that you protect. You are a steward of all that you have created, and you deserve and you must protect your time, your energy, your resources, your abundance. So a queen, like I'm very generous. That's one of my love languages. I love to shower my loved ones with quality time and generosity. And I spoil my nieces and nephews and my loved ones. I love to always take my family. I have a huge, big, beautiful family. And I love to take us out for big family dinners and treat. But part of that boundary is I'm not spending 4 days cooking or cleaning. Right. So I'm happy to take everyone to a restaurant. So we get to be the queen is nourishing and abundant and generous and loves to lavish her loved ones, right? And you know how to do it also in a way where you are protecting, right? So you're holding really clear and strong boundaries. So what this comes down to is a queen is a master of saying no. And it is such a powerful no. This is something I'm learning from my toddler, right? He is so clear. If you want to learn how to say no, I can teach you as a goddess coach, but just spend some time with a toddler and you will learn no. His no is complete. It just comes from such clarity. It's a full sentence. There's no, as women, we can have such a hard time saying no, no, because, and we give reasons and we apologize and we justify and we feel so bad and we feel so guilty. And, we just try to avoid hurting anyone's feelings or all this stuff. And oh my God, toddlers are so good at saying no. So we can learn from them. But what this is as a queen, being so clear on your no, so that you can be a yes to everything that you love and value and have created and have a right to protect. And this flows us into your next tip, which is to keep elevating. All right, the queen's journey is to continue to elevate, to expand, and to not be afraid of being bold. The world will tell you you're being unrealistic, you're living in fantasy, that's not possible. All the things that I have created in my life, I was made fun of. I was told it's not possible. I was told I live in la la land. I had all the discouragement. I had all so many fears that I had to overcome, but we created it. And part of it was the courage, the trust in myself and the divine. Right? This is what I'm inviting you into, which is to have that queen level self-trust, to continue to be true to your desires. And as we're protecting our queendom, you're also going to be, through your sovereign no, continuously saying a sacred yes. A sacred yes to your new levels, to your new levels of expansion and depth. What I'm finding in my life right now is expansion is so beautiful. Like, for example, we spent 3 months in Bali to get away from our Canadian winter, and it was heaven on earth. And I didn't know how I would feel when I came back home to Canada, but I'm so in love with my home. I actually, surprisingly, even though I was like taking spa days there 3 times a week and had a nanny and all the support and lavishness and abundance and beauty and nourishment, coming back, I realized I have created such a beautiful, nourishing, supportive life here that I actually felt more soft here. Because, like, you know, in a foreign country, there's still things that you're not used to, that there's a lot of adjustments. But in coming home, I realized that, wow, like, I have cleared these lines. I have overcome so many patterns of sacrifice and compromise, and helped my clients do the same. Like, you're capable of doing all this as well. And I invite you to consider the power, the gift you give yourself of continuously elevating. And what just to come back to, like, a lesson that I came into on my return was, my desire at this point is not even as much like the next level, but it's deepening and enjoying and relishing all that I already have created. So the next level is actually, for me right now, the next level of depth of gratitude, depth of presence, and more depth of embodied power. And yes, things continue to elevate, like, again, with my background and video edits and elevating my YouTube channel, right? Like, you're getting these more consistent videos. And if you're not a subscriber, definitely subscribe if this has served you. Oh, and please give us a like to let me know that you like this, so I can keep, making these beautiful, inspiring videos for you. But this is me raising my standard to myself, coming back to my channel. I didn't just want to come back after my extended, beautiful maternity time, devotion as mother. I wanted to come back at my next level. So we are giving you the elevated Flourishing Goddess YouTube channel experience, and we'll keep going. And it's so fun. So it is your time to enter your Queen Goddess era and to continue to elevate every part of your life, even when that elevation can also include more deepening and more embodiment and more slowing down to relish and appreciate and enjoy what you've already created, right? Because life is always and only in the now. So even as you're expanding and elevating, remember to be fully here. This is how, as a queen, you hold your throne. Sitting on your throne is to bring your full power to the present. And being fully present, that's what keeps you in your power. That is the place that we create and elevate everything from. So I can feel that you are ready to elevate and become the Queen Goddess that you are. This is the work that we do in my Awaken Goddess training, in my book, Goddess Reclaimed, as well. So as like another next step, if you want to go deeper than this beautiful free content, is to get my book, Goddess Reclaimed, where at the very end, through a journey with so many beautiful goddesses, you will become, I gotta show you this picture, with my beautiful goddess sitting on her throne. Hopefully you can see her. Goddess Isis, take your throne as Queen Goddess. So get Goddess Reclaimed. And if you have Goddess Reclaimed, I so love your reviews. This is me and my Queendom asking for that support for this beautiful work that women have shared has changed their life. But the intent of Goddess Reclaimed is to take you on this 13 initiatory journey, ultimately to become the Queen Goddess that you are. So if you're ready for that next step, I hope that supports you. The deepest work is in my Awaken Goddess training, which opens once, maybe twice a year, usually once. So when you're in my email list, you'll also be the first to know when the temple Queendom doors open for that. And in the meantime, just come on to flourishinggoddess.com, join my email list, subscribe, be here on YouTube, leave me a comment to let me know how this video served you, and of the 6 tips that you received today, which one resonated most deeply with you that you are going to apply. And then do follow up with me afterwards on what's changed for you since coming into your power, since elevating your standards, since protecting your boundaries, and all the things that we shared today. So I hope this served you. This has been so fun, and I'll see you in my next video. Namaste.